What's up, guys? How you guys doing? Welcome to 32 Teams, where I'll review all 32 teams in the NHL after the 2022-23 season. This series consists of an overview, the regular season, postseason, player stats, team stats, and my overall opinion about the team. We are finished with the Western Conference, and now we are in the Eastern Conference. Today, we review the New York Islanders. Let's get started. Now, you may be wondering why I skipped Florida, because Florida is second in the wild card. Well, that is because Florida went to the Stanley Cup final, and like I said before, the top two teams that are in the Stanley Cup are last, so Florida will be second to last in the 32 team series. The New York Islanders 2022-23 campaign was the team's 51st overall. In UBS Arena, it was their second season. After Barry Trotz was sacked at the conclusion of the 2021-22 season, Lambert was elevated to head coach on May 16, 2022. When Lambert's crew first started having problems, many people thought this was the beginning of the end for this core. This year's team had two new faces who made contributions. Alex Romanoff was the only addition made during the offseason. The defense in his first season with the team at age 23 was split into two halves. He had a difficult start of the season, mishandling the puck and getting caught off guard. Brock Nelson was the best offensive Islander there was. Nelson was the team's offensive leader in every offensive category when you exclude Horvat's goals, which was mostly scored with Vancouver. His 75-point overall with 39 and 39 assists were also career highs for the center. His 36 goals were also only one short from matching his career high 37 goals from the previous season. Nelson had developed into a premier offensive weapon for the Islanders, and this season saw him earn his first All-Star selection. After beating the Montreal Canadiens on April 12, 2023, the Islanders secured a spot in the postseason. The Islanders started the season with a 3-1 loss against Florida. They were able to win their first game the next game with a win against the Ducks, 7-1. October was an okay starting month where they went 5-4-0. It was a pretty good start, but November was even better. They started November with a win and they kept winning. They had a good 4-game winning streak in November and a monthly record of 10-5-0, the best month of the year. In December, they slowed down a bit, but it wasn't too bad. They end the year with a win against the Blue Jackets and a 3-game winning streak. The record of the month of December was 6-5-2, and the record of the 2022 year was 21-14-2. That's a pretty good record, and that was a lot better than last year's record. This was a great improvement, and it shows that they can make the playoffs if they keep this pace up. January starts and it isn't good. They had to have a 4-game losing streak, and they win one game, and they suffer another 6-game losing streak, meaning in the past 11 games, they only won one game. That wasn't good, and it really affected the team. The record wasn't good because of this bad month, and the record had worsened. Of course, one month doesn't decide how a team looks, but it certainly doesn't give a good look for the beginning of the year. February had to be better, and it was a lot better actually. They went 6-3-3, and it was great for them. March came, and it was even better. They beat big teams such as the Penguins, Maple Leafs, and Devils. They went 8-3-1. The Islanders were close to making the playoffs. In April, they went 2-3-0 with one game left. This one game could decide if they will make the playoffs or not. They start and they are winning after the first period 2-1, and after the second period 3-2. The game is so close, and an OT loss can actually clinch them into the playoffs. But the loss didn't matter. They were able to win the game 4-2, clinching the number one wildcard spot in the playoffs. They had a 42-31-9 record, or 93 points. It took them all 82 games to clinch them to the playoffs, but it doesn't matter how many games it takes. The Islanders are to play against the Carolina Hurricanes, who are first in the Metropolitan Division. The Hurricanes are a tough team, and the Islanders will need to fight hard in order to win this series. Game 1 is a very tight and close game, but the Hurricanes win it. In Game 2, it is another close game that actually goes to overtime, but the Hurricanes unfortunately win it, giving them a 2-0 series lead. The Islanders have to win these next few games to stay alive in the postseason. In Game 3, it is close, being 1-1 for almost the whole game, until the last 4 minutes, where the Islanders scored the fastest 4 goals in postseason history in 2 minutes and 18 seconds. In Game 4, the Hurricanes win comfortably, giving them a 3-1 lead. The next game is a winner-go-home game, and the Islanders need to win. In Game 5, it is a close game. It's a close game, but the Islanders are able to stay alive and win 3-2. The Islanders need to win the next 2 games to move on to the next round. Game 6 happens, and it is close, very close. It goes to overtime, and 6 minutes into the game, Paul Stastny approaches the goal line in the corner and flung it toward the net and went in. The game was over. The Hurricanes won, and the Islanders lost the series. The New York Islanders series was over. The point leader for the Islanders is Brock Nelson, who had 75 points in 82 games. He has career high in assists and points. He was by far the best player on the team. He had a big influence on the team and during the regular season, and especially during the postseason. Without him, the Islanders would have most likely not made it to the playoffs. Nelson is an outcast like the other players. The next player that is second in points is Matthew Barzell, who had 51 points in 58 games. To be fair, he only played 58 games compared to Nelson, who played all 82 games. But other than that, those two players, no one else really compared to them. Ansley, Noah Dobson, and Gabriel Pajot are all pretty decent players that all contribute to the Islanders. Now let's move on to the goalies. As you hear, there's two main goalies, Ilya Sorokin and Varlamov. We can start with Varlamov because he played less amount of games. He played 22 games, had a record of 11, 9, and 2. He had 2.7 goals allowed average and a .913 save percentage with 2 shutouts. Pretty good season for him. I say it was pretty good compared to the other goalies. So we talked about. He's actually as a backup goalie. He's actually pretty almost better than most of the worst goalies that play for the worst teams, such as Ottawa and Coyotes. Varlamov is a really good goalie, and compared to the others, pretty good. Next is Sorokin, who played 60 games and had a 31, 22, and 7 record, had a 2.34 goals allowed average, a .924 save percentage, and 6 shutouts. One of the best goalies in the league right now. Elias Sorokin had a great season, really helped the Islanders play. If it wasn't for him, and also wasn't for Nelson, they wouldn't really make the playoffs. This guy was stopping pucks all around, and without him, really the Islanders wouldn't be this far. As an Islanders team, these two goalies are what really make up the Islanders, and without them, they aren't really the same team. These two goalies, great for the Islanders. Let's move on to the team stats. We have 10 is New York Islanders with 51%, 7% face-off win percentage. Not too bad in the mid-table. Shots against per game, we have New York Islanders where they 18 to 31 shots per game. Not too bad. It's okay. Shots per game has to be higher. Is it higher? It is not. At 30.8 shots per game. It's a bit lower, but you need those shots per game. The penalty kill in the Islanders are not 82.2%. That's pretty good. Penalty kill. That's really good actually for a team like the Islanders. The power play. The Islanders are. Where are the Islanders? They're at 30th, 15.8% power play. That is not good. The power play needs to be better than that. Having a power play like that is not great at all. The goals against the Islanders should be lower because they have a really good goalie. They are 2.65. Really not surprising having two great goalies, Varlamov and Sorokin. Not surprising. Very good goalies. Goals for has to be higher, and most likely it will be higher. Islanders are 22nd, 2.95, which I believe is higher than the goals against. Overall, really not too bad season for the Islanders. Could have been better, yeah, but they play against the Carolina postseason, which is honestly expected to lose. Carolina's a great team. So yeah, not bad season for Islanders. Now, what's my overall opinion about the Islanders? I think they're in an okay spot right now, but they could be in some trouble in the future. Like the Penguins, they don't have that many young players that they can rely on in the future. There are many middle-aged or older players that could leave or retire soon. But other than that, they're okay. Their goalies are pretty good. Sorokin and Varlamov are two great goalies and one of the best goalie duos. Islanders are a pretty tough team to score on with those two goalies. On my last note, Islanders are an okay team, but they may have trouble in the future, and they also really need to work on the power play. You need a good power play. Without the power play, it's not so great. So yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Appreciate you watching the video. A little bit earlier of an upload finally, but yeah. Yeah, Islanders are next is I believe next. What is next? Oh, Tampa's next. Tampa's next. Finally getting into the really good teams in the postseason. Postseason's gonna be tough, but no, it is what it is. What can you do? Like the video if you enjoy the video. Comment down your opinion if you agree with my opinion or you don't. But basically a recap. And yeah, hope you enjoy the video. And yeah, stay safe and have a good day. See ya.